Hello, my name is Dina Bailey, and I am the CEO of Mountaintop Vision. As a consultant, I have been working with the California Association of Museums to develop CAM's Equity Action Plan. Getting started can be overwhelming. Many people recognize that systems of oppression and exclusion exist, and they are philosophically committed to change. But putting those convictions into practice can feel scary and frustrating and full of traps. For some, the risks seem very high and the rewards seem very uncertain. That is why the CAM Equity Advisory Committee has developed a series of 5 videos. They are meant to focus on the how of getting started with the process of developing an equity action plan. In this video, video number 5, we will be focusing on what to do after your equity plan has been approved. Number 1, you've gone through a rigorous process and you've finally gotten your equity action plan approved. Now what? This is the point where a lot of people recognize the amount of work that is needed and really begin to think about who will do all of that work. I'm going to use the phrase work group as it is more general, but your work group could, of course, be a committee, a task force, or something else. Just to make sure that there is a shared understanding about what the naming of the group implies. If you are creating a work group, please consider the additional work that those folks are doing. If these are staff members, they are likely doing things outside of their job responsibilities. If they are volunteers, they likely have other jobs or other responsibilities. Just as we talked about with the focus group participants in a previous video, please make sure that you are compensating people in some way for their physical, mental, and emotional labor. Number 2, work group members often volunteer or are invited or are voluntold. Be careful to recognize how and why folks are showing up and what that means for their expectations, your expectations, and everyone's motivations. Make sure to do a level set at the inception of the work group to see why everyone is there, what they expect, and ensure shared understanding of how you will be moving forward together. Number 3, at the beginning and at various points throughout, make sure to recenter the work group. There should be a clear charter to work from. Think about what the work group is concretely responsible for, what various participants' roles and responsibilities are, how the committee will be held accountable, and what decision-making capabilities they have. Number 4, it's also important to ensure a vibrancy rather than stagnation. Many people sign on because they are passionate. Passion is separate from, though often connected to, burnout. Make sure that you've clearly thought about from the beginning how members will roll on and roll off of the work group. Think about the length of participation, movement to different positions within the work group. If everyone rolls off at the same time, or if folks are staggered, how many people will be in the work group to do the work? Those are some questions. Number 5, perhaps one of the unintended consequences that I see most often is an imbalance and discomfort with power dynamics. I've seen a lot of work groups created by grassroots members for grassroots members. Then, when activities intensify, those in senior positions and those working in the work group often have a different interpretation of what should be happening, how much leeway the work group has, and what decisions can be made independently or need to be run by the senior team. As you create your work group, make sure that you are intentionally talking about power dynamics in connection with expectations, decisions, roles, and power, positional power. Before we get started on those reflection questions, let me give you those top 5 tips again. Clarify who will do all of this work. Recognize how and why folks are showing up to the work group and what that means for their expectations, your expectations, and everyone's motivations. 3, consistently recenter the work group. 4, ensure vibrancy rather than stagnation. And 5, be sensitive to power dynamics and how you will work through conflict. All right, those reflection questions. Does everyone have a clear role and responsibility in the work group? How will the work group share out what they are working on, what progress they've made, what results they've gained, and what they plan on doing next? How will the work group interact with other working groups and/or other levels of the organization? How are decisions made? How are you ensuring that you are being representative? And if you are representing a narrower group identity, how are you clear about that? All right, as always, for more information about CAM's racial equity statement, please go to the link provided for you here. For more information about CAM's equity action plan, please go to the link provided here. For more information about CAM, please go to www.calmuseums.org. And for more information about Mountaintop Vision, please go to www.mountaintopvisionllc.com. Best wishes on your journey, everyone.